जो कुछ अब तक का एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव इंफॉर्मेशन मिली है उस सबको ध्यान में रखते हुए आगे की इंक्वायरी के लिए, आगे के इन्वेस्टिगेशन के लिए इस केस को, इस पूरे मामले को सीबीआई के पास देने का रेलवे बोर्ड की तरफ से रिकमेंडेशन किया जा रहा है।
The most important development today is that the railway tracks in Bahanagar Bazaar, this is now restored. As you can see behind me, the trains have started plying. So the main concern which was there, more than 140 trains were cancelled. This route where this tragic incident took place, where this accident took place, this line is now restored, and you can see that the train is plying from morning. A lot of trains have passed by, so this is one thing which is very important development today. Along with that, the Commissioner of Railway Safety, he is actually his team, and he is asking, he is interrogating various people from railways. That is also the inquiry part which is important, and also this inquiry has been handed over to CBI. So CBI will initiate an FIR, but the thing is that the relay room, which is a very important aspect, that whether there is a human intervention or not in this case, that is the point which is important now.
All right, to take this forward, I'm now joined by Rakesh Chopra, former member of the Indian Railway Board. Mr. Chopra, thank you so much for joining us. Indeed, a terrible tragedy which is still unfolding for many of the families who had their loved ones on board that train. But give us a sense of what really went wrong. The minister has gone on record to say this, and the member of the Railway Board has also gone on record to say that there was a signalling issue, there was a change in electronic interlocking, which gave the green signal to the driver, to the locomotive driver, and he entered a wrong line. Give us a sense of how can this really happen? Is this result of some sort of maintenance issue? Is there some technical issue related to it? Is there a larger problem? What is the possibility of outside interference or sabotage?
Parikshit, it's a sad day, sad event, and still that sadness continues. My condolences to all the families there. Having said that, this is a serious accident. And the question that you have raised has been perplexing the people for the last 3 days. Now, what has happened of last is that there are 2 inquiries that have been ordered. One, that was the Commissioner of Railway Safety, and the other, the CBI. The CBI, again, has been proposed by the Ministry of Railways. Very apparently, it seems that the minister having been there, and the chairman Railway Board also having been there, and the general manager and everybody, they might have hit upon something which is otherwise unknown, which makes them think that this could be a criminal conspiracy. So the 2 inquiries are going to go on side by side. If I recollect correctly, the Indian Railway Act, in a way, it does permit that the 2 inquiries can go on side by side if there's a criminal case. But the Commissioner of Railway Safety's inquiry, to my mind, is very significant, because that inquiry is what is going to determine what was the cause that really happened. Now, it's very interesting. You know, the first point to be observed is that trains were coming at high speed. Both the direction, the trains were at full speed. Now, what is the procedure? The procedure is that there is an outer signal, then there's a home signal, and then there is a signal at the station. The drivers of the trains and the co-drivers, each engine has 2 drivers, a co-driver and a driver. From a long distance, they can virtually see these signals. I have traveled in the engine cabs myself, and it is actually called a footplate, and it's compulsory for the officers to be on the engines also. So, you know, you can see the signal from a distance of almost about 2 kilometers. And the moment you see it is a green signal, the co-driver, first person to notice is the co-driver, that is the duty. He says, right. That means I've seen the signal, it is green, go ahead. The driver then looks at the signal, confirms it by saying right, and the speed continues. They go forward, they also see the home signal, and the same thing continues. Now, the possibilities are that signals are actually designed to have 3 colors, the green, the yellow, and the red. Red, of course, is a stoppage. Green is run through, that is you can go at full speed. And yellow is in case you're getting onto the loop line, then the home signal, it becomes yellow to let you know that, look, you are going to be moving at a slow speed, at a slower speed. And the reason for that is the turnouts. Turnouts is the points and crossings between two tracks over which the train, diverts from one track to another track. Those are designed for about 30 to 50 kmph or 60 kmph speeds. They cannot take a higher speed. In this case, what it seems from all the data that has come out is that the drivers did see the green signals at the 3 stages throughout. But when at last the driver reached before entering the loop line, the train suddenly diverted into the loop where there was already a train standing. Now, this cannot happen because the fail-safe system in the railways, the interlocking system is such that in case a track is occupied, it is shown as red and thereafter the signal goes to red also. So this could not have happened. So the crux and the problem that has taken place is how did this take place? Certainly, it could have been a glitch in the technology. There could have been some problem or failure with one of the relays or the track circuitry that is there, or somebody could have interfered. So both the thoughts are there that if somebody did interfere, was it an outside thing and a sabotage? To my mind, sabotage should be one of the last things resorts to be actually considered, because the Commissioner of Railway Safety's inquiry is really going to bring out the full details. It's a detailed inquiry after questioning a lot of people.
Mr. Chopra, I'm going to request you to hold on. I'm going to request you to hold on for a moment. We've got Dinesh Trivedi, the former railway minister, on the phone line. Mr. Trivedi, when it comes to derailments, there have been hundreds of derailments over the last few years. The CAG report has been flagging concerns about many lapses in the railway system, which are leading to derailments, starting from issues with regard to the engineering department. For example, 422 derailments were attributable to the engineering department, 182 to the mechanical department. Number of accidents attributable to loco pilots was about 154, 275 to the operating department. At least 11 derailments took place because of issues related to signaling and telecom. Do you feel that successively we've not given enough attention when it comes to railway safety or issues within the system concerning maintenance, concerning operations, coordinations, which are leading to these derailments?
Answer is absolutely no. And the second answer is it has nothing at all to do with this present tragedy.
Right. You're saying the CAG report has nothing to do with the present tragedy.
Correct.
The signaling system, the government has issued a statement and has said that, yes, there will be a CBI inquiry that will take place simultaneously. But what do you now think, Mr. Trivedi, needs to be done in future? There is a lot of data on what are the issues, what are the reasons why derailments, collisions have taken place in the past. How do we learn from what has already happened with this incident also and make sure that these incidents don't happen now?
I think the railway is a robust institution. It learns like we all do learn, like the Honorable Prime Minister himself mentioned that we will learn from this. And all the indication at the moment, including what the Honorable Minister and the Railway Board themselves, they are very competent people. And if the Railway Board has thought fit to give this particular incident, accident or sabotage to the CBI, so it means they know something much more than you and I know. And there has to be a good reason for that. The railway is absolutely the most professional body you can find anywhere in the world.
I would also like to ask you about a recent report by the Parliamentary Committee on Railways, and this is a Demands for Grants report for 2023-2024, and they've spoken about the...
Not to waste your time, I will interrupt you. This report has nothing to do with this particular accident. It has nothing at all to do.
No, but Mr. Trivedi, just one issue that it has spoken about, that the Rashtriya Rail Sanraksha Kosh, which is the funding for critical safety measures, the report has said that it was intended to...
all this.
Yeah.
I have gone through all these reports. All these reports I've gone through. 114,000 kilometers. Every year, 4,000 kilometers has to be renewed. I know everything of this sort. So all I'm trying to tell you, if they have not spent from this, see, there are two different things. One is renewal of the track, and the other is maintenance of the track. So if you do not renew a track, but if you maintain a track, it means the safety department has to approve every little functioning of the railway. And please understand, we are very, very fortunate to have Indian Railways. Have no doubt about it. But no system we saw in recent times, 737 MAX, the latest aircraft, had little glitch. So please understand, when you modernize,
but Mr. Trivedi, all the previous reports.
But sir, it has
just
nothing to do
one
with
small thing, sir. This report by the Parliamentary Committee has said that there has been a shortfall in expenditure on critical safety when it comes to the railways. This is what the report has flagged. But don't you feel that going forward, there should be more focus on safety?
Ask you to make a building in 10 months which will be 100 stories. You can't do it. You know, you can have funds, but you need time to spend those funds. So it is easy to say that you have not spent the fund, but you need time. Even if you want to have a track between Calcutta to Delhi, it needs time. You can have funds. Actually, in my time, there was paucity of funds. We did not have fund for safety also. And now this government has at least given 2.50 lakhs crore.
All right.
And that is for modernization. And believe me, each and every aspect. Today, the railway system is much more robust. And every day there is a learning process. I'm not telling that railways have learned everything. No. God forbid, tomorrow there could be some incident that could be learning. Life itself is a learning process. Thank you.
Mr. Trivedi, we've run out of time, but thank you so much for joining us. Mr. Chopra, coming back to you, we had the former railway minister saying that previous reports of the Parliamentary Committee on the Rashtriya Rail Sanraksha Kosh, also the CAG report on derailments, have nothing to do with this case at hand. Would you agree with that analogy? I would also like to ask you, what do we now need to do in order to make sure that these incidents don't happen in future? What remedial steps need to be taken urgently?
See, in a way, I would agree with Mr. Trivedi. Certainly, there has been an increase in funds over the last decade. So, insofar as the funding is concerned, it has increased. At least in the Pink Book, that is the book which comes out of the Parliament and tells you about the fund allocations. There, the numbers are there. Whether actually the funds are coming from the coffers of the government and being given to the zonal railways through the Ministry of Railways, I don't have much knowledge about that. But I presume that that also is being done on demand of the zonal railways. If that be so, then the question that arises is, why have the zonal railways not been able to spend the money? Now, that is a question of management. You know, there has been a tremendous change in the management of the railway system. A lot of decentralization of powers and things like that have been done. I think probably the ministry would do well to have a relook at all these things. You know, there are a lot of funds being sanctioned. But the
Mr. Chopra, I've run out of time, but I want to ask you one quick question before we wrap this segment. Mr. Chopra, that is, should this inquiry by the Commissioner for Railway Safety have not been completed first before ordering a CBI inquiry? Is it fine to have these two inquiries go on simultaneously?
See, I would have thought that the Commissioner for Railway Safety's inquiry should have been completed first. And the minister did say that it is going to take a short time. The period for the preliminary report for the CRS's inquiry is 10 days and the final report 60 days. So we could have probably waited and then gone to the CBI. My view is that, and my reason is very simple, that if this undermines the Commissioner of Railway Safety's inquiry, what is going to happen is the very glitches, the very technical faults that might have taken place which might really be technical, will be all overlooked. Let me tell you the last thing. Commissioner Railway Safety's inquiries and the results that come out have been helping the railways to improve the safety systems. So let us not undermine that. That is what my view is, that yes, CBI inquiry could have been done, but probably the CRS's inquiry should have been given predominance, at least in the timelines.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Chopra, for joining us. We're going to take a short break here on Newscentre, but next, the Parliamentary Panel of Railways met just a few days back on rail safety. We speak with Sandeep Pathak, Rajya Sabha MP from the Aam Aadmi Party and a member of this committee after this break.